Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see the former county manager, Mr. Eddie Sheehy, back with us. I would like to send out a very warm welcome to members of local authorities from around the country. Also, it's good to see in attendance the number of engineers we have here today, apart from the engineers of our own local authority. Just like to also welcome Minister Michael Finneran, TD, Deputy Mary O'Rourke, fellow councillors John Nocton, John Keogh, Paddy Kilduff and Jimmy Kinney. So you're all very welcome. I would like to take the opportunity to thank Shane Curran and Jerry Brennan for inviting me here today as Mayor of County Roscommon. I suppose as a public representative in South Roscommon, I have witnessed at first hand the devastation wreaked by the recent flooding in November 2009. The material damage along with the personal implications and such damage inflicted is something I would not ever like to witness again. As a direct result of the impact that the floods have brought on our communities, flood defence preparation and mitigation needs to be established in order to alleviate the damage that could be caused in the near future. Floods, unfortunately, are here to stay. With the ever-increasing rise in water levels and global warming now firmly established as part of the landscape, it is vital to find products which can help to protect the vital infrastructure in the future. Having been at the coalface of recent floodings, I have no doubt that the big bag flood defence system, if it had been available, it would have greatly reduced the amount of damage and devastation that occurred in the end of 2009. It is important as we look into the future to try and safeguard the communities that are most at risk from potential flooding. I'm delighted to have liaison closely with the directors of the GFS in finding a solution to many of the problems experienced by the people in the affected flooded areas. And towns like Athlone, Ballinasloe, Carrick-on-Shannon, Atlee, Clonown, Four Roads, Dysart. I witnessed at first hand people living in rural parts of South Roscommon and County Roscommon. The fact that those people, I would have got phone calls at 6:30, 7:30 in the morning where water had risen during the night, and unfortunately those people had to be evacuated from their homes. It's not a pleasant sight, I can assure you, if you call to a person's home at 6:30 in the morning and you find that there's 2 foot of water in their dwelling house. This is something that I certainly, as a public representative, would not like to witness again. And during that period of time, I had many calls from different radio stations around the country looking for my opinions and my views. At no time did I contact the radio stations because I was dealing with people on the ground, a lot of older people, and I thought it was a very personal issue with regards having your house flooded. It's like having your house burned down. And I think there's an ideal opportunity moving forward into the future. I think we have looked at the sandbag, and the sandbag certainly has served its time. The system is so simple that when I first looked at the system, I couldn't understand that this system hadn't been in place years ago. So if you take the system, if you take the amount of money it cost, I know I would have to say a special word of thanks to all the staff of Roscommon County Council during that period, where they worked round the clock to prevent flooding in County Roscommon. But if you look at the system, and if you look at local authorities going forward into the future, if you look at the insurance companies, if you look at the amount of money it has cost the country, I would be hoping that you would have the local authorities, the Minister for Defence. I would like to see the insurance companies. I certainly would like to see the OPW and the HSE and many other agencies sitting down and drawing up a plan and a system for the country, not just for one area. And I think if we have this system in place on a regional basis going forward in the future, it will be very reassuring, not alone for the local authorities, but for the communities and for the county councillors. And I would hate to think that if I'm a county councillor moving forward into the future, that if we have a system in place and if we have the flooding that we had in 2009, there can be no excuses. So I would just like to say that I'm delighted to be here as Mayor of County Roscommon, but above all as a person and a councillor that represents the people of South Roscommon. And would like to say to Jerry again and Shane Curran, you know, there's a huge downturn in the country. There's always opportunities. And I think Jerry and Shane has hit on a unique product. So I wish them the very best to look going forward in the future.